Welcome to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. Each month, we'll feature business and community leaders sharing their stories, initiatives, concerns, and passions. Learn practical information regarding community resources and opportunities. Now, the host of Business Voice, Greece Regional Chamber President and CEO, Sarah Lentini.
Hi, everybody. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Pet Saver Healthy Pet Superstore. I'm delighted to welcome you here today. I'm Sarah Lentini, and I've got a bunch of terrific guests, starting with my first guest, Kelly Verzillo of RadiantHire Solutions. Welcome, Kelly.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you. Happy to be here today.
Terrific. So RadiantHire Solutions, I'm guessing people can figure out from the title of the company that you have something to do with the hiring process. Can you tell us a little bit about RadiantHire? It's a relatively new company, correct?
Yes, absolutely. You're right. We do offer recruiting services and help to hire employees. We offer recruiting services. We also do outsourced sales services, and we work to increase retention and onboarding strategies as well.
So that's sort of soup to nuts, it
yes.
sounds like, right?
Yes, we sort of start from the beginning, and then we take everybody through the process so that their employees will stay longer and they'll have better retention with them.
That's terrific. And do you specialize in any particular fields, areas?
Yes, we do. Actually, we do specialize in the healthcare field, the legal, and the manufacturing field as well. In my background, most of my career has been in sales and recruiting, and I've had extensive experience in the healthcare field as well.
And I thought you had been telling me prior to the program that you do some ancillary services. You don't just provide recruitment services, correct?
Yes. That's absolutely right. We do. We like to customize our programs to fit everybody's needs. So we do some onboarding programs, and we also do some recruiting strategy as well. So we can actually teach people how to recruit. We can do process design for them, show them how to go about it, help them learn how to build attraction plans and get the top employees. So we can either go about it in that manner, or we could do the recruiting for them so they can focus on their core business, and they don't have to spend so many hours looking at candidates' resumes.
What a wonderful thing to be able to do, to teach businesses how to do recruitment themselves. I actually didn't realize that you provided that level of service, and I actually think that's wonderful. It's like teaching somebody how to fish, not just fishing for them. I'm really butchering that metaphor, by the way, but I think you get what I'm saying. So. How long have you been doing this, and how old is RadiantHire Solutions?
Sure. Well, like I mentioned, most of my career, so for the past, I'd say 15 years now, I've been in the recruiting and sales industry. Different types of industries, like I mentioned, in regards to manufacturing or healthcare, or working with different types of companies. And RadiantHire has been in business for about a year now.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And it just kind of rolled out from, my career, and I've been doing this for so long. And I was able to really see through those experiences what the needs were, and how a lot of the companies would have HR departments, and they might have one person in HR, they might have two people in HR, and they just did not have the time to really do these services properly. They were trying to run their companies and do all their HR initiatives while recruiting employees and doing some sales calls, and they just had so much to do that nothing was getting done the way it should have been getting done.
And it's one of those critical decisions you make as a business owner, isn't it? Who you bring on board. The staff team that you create is essential to the success of the business, right?
Absolutely. Yes. One bad hire can be very costly. Very costly. Yep. And the turnover can just keep going and going, and you could be spending thousands of dollars a year on replacing your employees. Right.
So if somebody wanted to work with you, first of all, how would they go about doing it, and how is it structured? Is there a flat fee? Is there a percentage? Do people have to pay you up front?
Well, it really depends on each individual situation. We usually do work in a retained capacity. Mm-hmm. So when we do recruiting, there typically is a upfront fee that, kind of secures our costs and tools and everything that we need to focus on the search. And so it's kind of a three-part a 3-part payment in regards to that. But our services are so varied that it really does depend on the client and what they need. We really do work very hard to be able to strategize with people and to be able to offer things at a level that they can afford.
Mm-hmm. But you're doing all the hard work of reaching out, right?
Absolutely.
Of trying to figure out who's in the marketplace that has the skill set that a business needs.
Absolutely.
And I assume you're doing screening of those folks?
Yes, absolutely.
What does that consist of? Do you do interviewing? Do you do any kind of reference checking or background checking?
Actually, yes, we do all of that. We do the screening, we do the sourcing of the candidates, we do the interviewing, we do any type of job posting or attraction plan, and that's actually one of the biggest things we do is we run an attraction plan for the employer. And so that is a way of generating employees to want to come and work for them. Like, why would you want to leave your position and come and work for this company?
So an attraction plan is sort of like a I don't know.
It would be like
a description of what makes the company a great place to work.
Yes,
is that
exactly.
What it is? Okay,
exactly. And we can do that through wording and posting or videos as well that we can put out. And
very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And that gives a little insight into the culture and into what type of employer this person is and why would they want to come and work at this facility versus where they are now.
Yeah, that's great. I don't know that everybody does that. I'm not sure that I've seen a lot of these attraction plans. That's why I looked at you for a minute because I wasn't sure what that was.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's true because very few people do it, but the market is very different now and it's candidate driven. Candidates have choices now. It's not like it used to be. You can't just throw a post up and expect the top performer to answer your post and say, hey, great, I'll just come on and work for you. Now the candidates want to know, what's the company like? What's the culture like? What can you offer me that no one else can offer me? And so that's very important. So if you can bring that type of a person on from the beginning, they're more likely to stay with you.
So part of what you do right up front, I imagine, is learn about the company.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes. We want to learn about the culture, the ins and outs, the personality, what are the workings of the company and what do they expect from their employees. So goals are a huge thing, goals and metrics.
Wonderful. Now, you mentioned that you're specializing in 3 areas, right? Manufacturing, healthcare or health, and legal, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So how did you come to pick those 3 areas?
And I know they are very diverse.
They are.
Legal and healthcare they're pretty opposite. But, they all really do have similarities. And in those types of positions, we'll take legal or healthcare. A lot of those positions are very niche positions. So they're very experienced. They are looking for a certain kind of employee to come and work for them. So there's a lot of background that goes into that to find out exactly what the need is. And it just, I don't know, they seem to fit together really well. And as far as manufacturing, there's just so many diverse positions in that market. And the need is, there is always a need in healthcare and manufacturing. And I think the need that they really do need someone to help them fill those positions because there's just constant new positions coming available in the market.
Yeah, so a combination of the sheer volume of need, and then the fact that you really need people with very specific expertise in all 3 of those areas, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can't. That isn't something that you can. At least maybe an entry level position is different,
right.
But you probably a lot of the time are not filling entry level positions, right?
That's true. Yeah, most of our positions are more experienced. People that need entry level employees don't typically reach out to us as much, just because they have it's just a little bit easier to find that type of an employee. But when you add in the experience and all the different factors that they're looking for, that's when they call somebody and say, hey, you've got the expertise. Can you help us? Can you do it for us or can you help us learn how to do it?
Which is great. And just to take us back for a minute, just to make sure we underscore this, so a big part of your business has to do with recruitment and filling positions in those 3 areas, but another has to do with providing assistance. Is it in HR generally as well as in sales training, is it?
Yes. So our outsourced sales services is typically encompasses prospecting for companies. So we also will do some strategy for them. We'll come up with a plan. We'll create a unique prospecting message, and then we will as well reach out to the targeted companies and that they are trying to acquire and get them qualified leads, and then we'll set up the appointments for them as well.
Well, that's awesome. You're setting up you're getting and setting up leads for companies.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. So if a small to medium, even some of the larger companies, there may be gaps in their employees. There might be somebody leaving. There might be some new onboarding coming on. So they don't want to leave that seat empty because they're losing revenue.
Right.
So that's when they would bring our services on, and we would fill that need for them in the gap.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And we can also be ancillary, so we can come in and do however many hours a week they may need, and kind of boost their sales while they're onboarding new employees or looking for their new employees.
That's great. Very complimentary service.
Yes.
I can see that would be really attractive to a lot of people. So what is the footprint that you serve? Do you have a geography? Is it, are these services open to anybody? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. These services are open to anybody. We are located in the Rochester area, so we do serve the Rochester community, but as well we work on a national level. We are able to work on a remote capacity, so we can really service any industry anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so not just the three that we mentioned.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. We do service all industries, but we do feel like those are the industries that reach out to us the most, I guess I would say.
Right. And if you have expertise in those three areas, that's really helpful, because they are three areas where I could see manufacturing, legal, and health would be really helpful to be working with a recruitment firm and, an HR firm that really knows the areas very well. So
absolutely. And in regards to the legal community, they are just so busy doing their job that they don't have time to recruit or do sales. And actually the partners are the ones who are doing the sales right now. And so imagine your caseload and then trying to reach out and do sales at the same time.
Right.
That's a lot.
and kind of different skill sets, right?
Yeah.
A little bit different, I think.
Absolutely.
So, better to bring somebody in who really knows how to do the recruitment piece. So that's awesome. Now, do you have anything coming down the pike, looking over peeking over the horizon that maybe we ought to know about? Anything our listeners might be interested in? And how do people reach you? We have to make sure people know how to get in touch with you.
Well, absolutely. People can give us a call at 585-734-3905. They can take a look at our website, which is RadiantHireSolutions.com, and all of our contact information is on there. You can also email me directly at kverzillo@RadiantHireSolutions.com. And as far as coming down the pike, we are very hopeful to be able to partner with the Grease Chamber and offer some amazing discounts for the members.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you for bringing that up, Kelly. We're very excited because we are hoping to be able to announce some very cool offers for area businesses, through the Grease Regional Chamber that RadiantHire Solutions is going to put online. So we're also very delighted that you're a member of the chamber, which I probably should have said up front, and a premium member. We really appreciate that. And I just want to say one more time, because you had a lot of great contact information, but it's RadiantHire Solutions.com.
That is correct.
That's Radiant, RADIANT, Hire, HIRE, Solutions.com.
Yes.
Kelly Verzillo, owner and founding president of RadiantHire Solutions, thank you so much for being with us here today on Business Voice.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
All right, stick around. We'll be right back with my next guest on Business Voice.
Of course, you love your pet. That's why it's hard to believe that you're feeding them the wrong food. Yeah, 70% of dogs and cats are eating the wrong pet food. It could be because they're getting older, a little overweight, or have allergies. Pet Saver Healthy Pet Superstore can help. Bring in your food or take a picture of the label, and a trained staff member will let you know what is really in the food. They know how to accurately read the labels and give you the truth about what you're feeding or not feeding your pet. If you need a change, they can recommend a food that really is healthier for your pet. And because Pet Saver carries more premium food than any other store in town, including the national chains, you might even be able to pay less for a food that is better for your pet. Are you one of the 70% of pet owners that are feeding your dog or cat the wrong food? Find out for free at the Pet Saver nearest you.
In Greece, Monroe Ave in Brighton, Webster, and in Victor next to Party City across from Eastview Mall.
At Canandaigua National Bank and Trust, we understand that each business has its own unique financial needs. We also recognize that it takes a collection of banking services to meet them. That is why we assemble a team of financial experts to provide deposit, lending, and cash management solutions to meet them. Let us put our market knowledge and local decision-making to work for you. Canandaigua National Bank and Trust, investing in you, your business, and your community. Deposit Products Member FDIC.
If you're looking to market and grow your business, make new business connections, and give back to the community in a meaningful way, consider joining the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce. We're the largest suburban chamber in Monroe County, and we offer networking, education, marketing, insurance, and advocacy. You do not need to live or work in Greece to join. Our members come from throughout the region. In short, we're better together, and together, we're moving business forward. Visit greecechamber.org or call 585-227-7272 to join today.
Alexa, play WYSL. And hear the WYSL stations worldwide. WYSL1040.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Pet Saver Healthy Pet Superstore. I'm Sarah Lentini, and I'm delighted to welcome my next guest from Canandaigua National Bank, Lindsay Mohr. Lindsay, welcome.
Thank you, Sarah. It's very nice to be here.
It's great to have you on the show. So, Lindsay, you've got, I think we were just talking about this on break, you've got a big job that covers a big geography for Canandaigua National Bank. What is the role?
I do, yep. So I work in our business banking department, and I partner with 6 of our branch offices, but I go everywhere from Webster to Greece to Canandaigua, really wherever clients are needing me. And I take a look at what they have, whether it's with us or somewhere else, and I try to find ways to save them money, make them money, save them time. And I focus on business banking, financial lending, mortgages, startup companies, really anything business related. So
you're going to them, and you're helping people save money. Not much not to like about that, right?
Right.
Which means you're on the road quite a bit.
Yes.
But is it mostly within the Greater Rochester region?
Yes. So we focus on the Monroe and Ontario counties.
Awesome. And speaking of the Monroe and Ontario counties, I mean, let's talk a little bit about the bank, because Canandaigua National Bank is a hometown bank, correct?
We are. We are a local full-service community bank. We've been around for over 130 years, so since 1887.
130 years?
Yes.
Wow.
And something that's very unique is we've had only 5 presidents in that time,
oh, wow.
And they're all within the same family.
And what is the name of the family?
The Hamlin family.
The Hamlin family. I thought so, but I wanted you to say it rather than me.
Yep.
That is the name that I've always heard. So this is kind of a family-run business. It's probably not a family-owned business, but a family-run business, correct?
It is, correct, yes.
Very cool. And how long have you been with Canandaigua National Bank?
I've been with the bank for just over 8 years.
Well, that's quite a while. That's great.
A long time. I started right out of college. And I was working at a restaurant before, so I had a lot of customer service experience.
Great.
And I started as a teller. And the bank, they taught me internally. They taught me everything that I know now. We do a lot of internal training, so we really believe that you learn the best from the people that are already doing the role in your organization.
Wow.
And I worked as a financial service rep and an assistant manager at our Brighton office, and then transitioned 2.5 years ago to business banking.
That is such a great story. It's really nice to hear about a business that is giving people that much potential for career growth. I love hearing that they trained you. You kind of started at, it may not be one of the more entry-level positions for the bank. It may not be entry-level per se, but obviously you've come a long way since then, and it's great to hear that they've invested in their employees.
They really do. We have over 570 employees right now.
That's big, 570.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
And we do trainings internally for everybody. So we have a lot of different opportunities, whether it's in-person trainings or through online trainings. We're just really focused on educating and advising not only our customers, but also our colleagues internally.
That's great. And you have a wide range of services. I know you kind of walked us very quickly through them as you were talking about your role, but I just want to say, it sounds like you cover an awful lot of ground in terms of the services that are available to both individuals and then also to businesses. Obviously, a sweet spot for the chamber, right, is the sort of the business community.
We do. So we, like I mentioned, we are local and we're full service. So by full service, we mean everything from personal accounts to business accounts to home equity loans, so consumer products, also the business products. And then we have our CNB mortgage department as well, and we have our CNB wealth management department. So we focus on financial planning, investment needs. We have a great number of trust officers on staff, and it's a very, very large company.
That's great. What is a trust officer? You mentioned you have quite a lot of those, but I'm not sure I know what a trust officer is. Is it somebody who focuses on helping you to, kind of invest your own personal money, or?
It is, yes. So we have different trust officers, we have financial planners, we have investment officers, and what we do is, whether it's in the business world or personal, is we take a look and we try to put together a really good team. So trust officers would help somebody establish a trust or review a trust.
Okay.
So we'd get anybody over to those specialists who can help them.
So this could be a family trust.
Correct.
In fact, is that, you're nodding like
family
that's often what it is?
Yeah,
okay.
Family trust, business trust. There's a lot of different trusts, irrevocable, revocable trust, and they can help with those.
And is that something that people sometimes, is that a vehicle that maybe more families should be looking at? Do you have to be super wealthy to set up a family trust?
You don't. And I think that, if we take a couple steps back, I think financial planning in general is really important for our anybody who owns a business, but also any families as well, is to focus on taking a step back, looking at the full picture, seeing what's going on with your life, your children. Maybe you've gotten married or you have some sort of a life change, and having us sit down and take a look at everything and then coming up with a plan for you, and then telling you where you might want to be, in 5 or 10 years, and really taking a look and helping you create those steps so that you can get to that point, and just kind of creating that outline and really just helping you along.
And so you don't, I tend to, I don't know if others do, but I tend to think of that level of attention as something that only people with a lot of money would get. But I think I'm hearing you say that that's not the case, at least not at your bank.
No, it's not the case. We help everybody, so we treat every client the same. Everybody deserves the same customer service, whether you're very wealthy or you're just starting out in your career. So to be able to provide a plan to somebody, whether it is while they are going through retirement or when they're just starting out, it's important, and it provides the education and advice that they really need.
So no matter who I am, no matter what my income level, if I'm in Ontario, was it Ontario?
Monroe and Ontario
Monroe
County.
and Ontario counties.
Yep.
And if I'm looking for a little bit of advice and help putting together a roadmap, I could pick up the phone and I could call you or somebody at the bank, Canandaigua National Bank, and you guys would be willing to sit down and help us figure out a roadmap.
Yes, correct.
And does that cost any money?
Right now, there is no charge, but when you get into the investments and other services throughout that, we would have you get in touch with a specialist who would go over any fees if there were any. But to just sit down, have a conversation, have a financial plan done, we're not charging at this time.
That's fantastic. And with businesses in particular, I think you were saying that you would do something similar. There's sort of a similar process that might be useful for a business to go through, right?
Yes.
But that you would, in that instance, you would definitely be able to come to the business, right? They don't have to come to you.
Yep, absolutely.
Which is fantastic.
We love going out to see business clients. It really helps us get a feel for the individuals and their businesses, and where they started, where they are now, and you really get to learn about the business.
Right. Well, one of the things, the listening audience won't know this, but you did a wonderful presentation for the Greece Regional Chamber and its membership recently, where you're welcome, thank you, where you really walked through a lot of the details of the services that you offer and creative financing solutions, especially for businesses. And the thing that I really took away from that, apart from the fact that you cover an awful lot of ground, both literally and figuratively, right, was that you're really willing to work with businesses to help them achieve whatever goal it is that they're looking to achieve. And while you might have some sort of default or set rates and plans for, the schedule of services that you have, that at the end of the day, if somebody has basically a problem where they need some help with financing, they need to reach out to you, because you guys are going to sit down and work out work as flexibly as you possibly can with them. Is that, did I take away the right thing from that,
You
Lindsay?
did. Yes.
So
anytime anyone has a question, should I buy a vehicle, or should I lease a vehicle? Should I buy this property? What does it look like for my finances? We want to be your first call. We want you to call us so we can sit down with you, go through the numbers with you. Business owners, they need to understand their numbers. They need to understand how liquid their company is, but they also need to focus on, they need to spend their time focusing on their business. That's really their number one goal, is their business. So let us take a look at the finances. Let us figure out different ways to make things work, or at least offer those different options, so then the business owner can make a well-informed decision.
That's great. And as you've probably met a lot of business owners at this point. You have quite the network, and you have probably an increasing understanding day by day of the business climate in the region. Are there particular things that you see that a lot of business owners maybe should be paying attention to that they're not paying attention to? Is there anything in particular that you think you want to kind of send out there as a message to our listeners?
I think if you are looking to start a business, really digging into your business plan. So sitting down with the right people, and there are a lot of different companies out there that will offer free or somewhat free services to help you go through a business plan. But really doing the research, spending the time, a business plan, there's so much that goes into it that it's not something that you can do in a week's time period. You really should be doing it over a couple months, sometimes even a year. So I think that would be number one, is just really take the time, learn about the business you're going to start, or a different path that your business might take, and make sure that you understand the ins and outs of that business.
And is that a role that you can play, helping a business owner understand what should go into a business plan? And can they bring a business plan to you without it being fully formed?
They can, and we can give them advice on what we as a bank want to see in the business plan. We aren't able to go as far as helping them with their market research or their projections, but there are other people in the industry that can help them. But just to give them a good, solid guideline of what we'd be looking for up front, sometimes that's helpful, especially when they're starting out.
So wonderful. So people can reach out to you even if they're at some of the earliest stages of starting a business, and at a minimum you ought to be able to give them a little bit of guidance. Yes, even if it's referring them to some of the resources that you mentioned.
Correct. We really want to be there throughout the whole process. We want to be there in the beginning. We want to be there when they open their doors, and then whether they decide that they want someone in their family to take over their business or they want to sell down the road, we want to be there throughout all of those different processes.
Fantastic. Now, one of the things that I also know about you and the bank is that you're very supportive of the community, and certainly I want to start by saying thank you, because I know that you guys have been fantastic to the Greece Regional Chamber over the years, and provided sponsorship support to a variety of events. But I also know that we're not the only ones, and that you guys, have a whole philanthropic focus and support that goes out to lots of organizations in the greater Rochester region. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. So our support is very ongoing within the community. We support a lot of different nonprofits. Some are through the arts, children, education, healthcare, environmental concerns, economic development, historic, and anything basic related to basic life needs. So we're thinking housing, clothing, food needs. And really it's not just the dollars that we donate, but it's also the time. So we do a lot with the United Way. We do a lot where our colleagues can choose the organizations that they want to donate their money or their time to, and then we give them time off so that they can go ahead and volunteer.
That's great. That's really nice. And you're right. That gives them, I imagine that means that your employees are now very vested in the community giving that the organization does. And it's nice. Money is wonderful, don't get me wrong, but it's also very nice that you're giving them time off and providing a lot of volunteer assistance. Sometimes that can go a very long way. And obviously, it's also a great morale booster, both for the employees at your organization, I imagine, at CNB, but also I would think it's, it's spiritually uplifting when you're the recipient of volunteer hours and you feel the energy of people that want to support you. So thank you guys for everything that you do. And Lindsay Mohr, Canandaigua National Bank, thank you so much for being here today on Business Voice.
Sarah.
All right, stick around. We're going to be right back with my next guest. Don't go away.
You're listening to the voice of liberty. AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
RadiantHire Solutions is igniting growth in the Rochester and Buffalo areas for manufacturing, healthcare, legal firms, and industries small and large. They help companies hire and retain their top employees while increasing revenue so they can stay focused on their core business. Having difficulty finding and retaining top performers for your industry? Give them a call. They work with all types of positions, from manufacturing and executive level to technical and healthcare and everything in between. Their onboarding programs have helped all types of businesses retain their top employees. Or perhaps you need a partner to meet your sales needs without the ramp-up time and turnover of an in-house team. Schedule a free consultation to see how outsourcing sales can benefit your business. They also offer exclusive discounts and special consideration for Grease Chamber members. Where does your business need more support? Give us a call and we'll be with you every step of the way. Visit RadiantHireSolutions.com or call 585-734-3905.
Need help with health insurance? The Greece Regional Chamber provides assistance with health insurance for businesses, nonprofits, families, and individuals throughout our region. We pride ourselves on the personalized service that we provide for our clients. Let us help you find health insurance plans that fit your needs and navigate the paperwork. Greece Chamber Benefit Partners, located at 2402 Westridge Road in Rochester, New York, offers a broad range of medical insurance plans for businesses, nonprofits, individuals, and families throughout the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region, working with insurance companies including Excelis Blue Cross Blue Shield, Univera, and MVP Healthcare. We can also help you access insurance plans through the New York State of Health, the official health plan marketplace. Again, you do not need to live or work in Greece to utilize our brokerage services. We serve the greater Rochester Finger Lakes region of New York State. Visit greasechamber.org to sign up for one of our free health insurance information sessions or schedule an appointment with one of our licensed brokers. Call 585-227-7272. 585-227-7272.
More than 20,000 watts of truth. WYSL AM 1040, FM 92.1 and 95.5 West.
And welcome back. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Pet Saver Healthy Pet Superstore. I'm Sarah Lentini, and I am delighted to welcome my next guest, Dr. Stamatia Destounis, a radiologist with Elizabeth Wende Breast Care. Welcome, Dr. Destounis.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It's so nice to be able to speak with you and your listeners.
Oh, thank you. We're very excited at the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce because, first of all, we're delighted that Elizabeth Wende Breast Care is a member, in fact, a premium member of the Chamber, but even more delighted that you are stepping up your commitment, expanding your services in the Greece area. Isn't that correct?
Yes. So we have been in the Greece area for several years now, offering screening mammography and also screening breast ultrasound for women with dense breasts. And all we do is 3D mammography, digital breast tomosynthesis, but as of October 15th, we will be also offering diagnostic services. So there will be a radiologist, such as myself, there and seeing patients that have concerns or their physicians have concerns about their breast health, and they will come in and be seen by one of the doctors and ultrasound, breast exam, and whatever they may need or any other procedure.
That's fantastic. And is this coming down the pike, or is it when do these expanded services go into place, or are they already coming online?
So yes, so this is already scheduled. So our first day will be October 15th.
Great.
And that's the first day that the radiologist will actually be there to take care of every patient that has any concern. And, we're there every day also to perform screening mammograms. So with our, accredited technologists And like I said, all we do is the 3D mammogram, and our sonographers that do screening breast ultrasound. But the radiologist, starting October 15th, will also be there to offer services to patients that need any kind of breast care.
Fantastic. And we should probably mention, correct me if I'm wrong, but October 15th is also the date that, therefore, you have a big event, right? A fall open house?
Absolutely. So we do have EWBC, our Elizabeth Wende Breast Care Physicians, will be there to meet and greet patients and family, anybody that wants to come out and see us. So we will be doing tours of the office and be there to give information from 5:30 p.m. to 7 on Tuesday, October 15th.
Wonderful. And I think we even have a ribbon-cutting celebration that we're going to be holding in the mix to help add to the festivities and mark the occasion. We're very excited. Yes. So let's tell people where there is. What is the address?
So the address is 3 Sheridan Place, Suite 200. And it's actually near Long Pond and Gates Grease Town Line Road.
Wonderful. Okay. Say that one more time for our listeners.
So 3 Sheridan Place, it's near Long Pond and Gates Grease Town Line Road. It's Suite 200.
Suite 200. And I imagine, is the information also on your website?
Yes. People can make appointments even on our website at ewbc.com, or they can actually call, and our call center will take their calls at 585-442-2190 so they can make an appointment, whether they need a screening examination or a diagnostic examination because of a concern.
Wonderful. Fantastic. And if and I just want to throw in, and if people are looking just to get information about the open house, they can also check out the Chamber's website. The Greece Regional Chamber's website address is greecechamber.org, greecechamber.org. So plenty of places to check out. Certainly the event on October 15th, and of course the Elizabeth Wende Breast Care website is the perfect site for the full range of services. Now, one of the things that we also wanted to talk about a little bit in this, your event is sort of front and center in the middle of a month, which is an important month for breast care, is it not?
Right. Absolutely. October, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so certainly, we believe in breast cancer awareness every day at Elizabeth Wende Breast Care, but in October it's definitely showcased. Everyone is wearing their pink, and everyone is reminding themselves and their family members to go have a mammogram. So, we recommend that women start with mammography at age 40 if they are of average risk for breast cancer. So any woman, that without any family history of breast cancer, without any other risk factors or genetics in place, starting at age 40, and we recommend a yearly mammogram. And definitely there are women that have a lot of risk factors. They've had breast cancer themselves previously, or they've had precancerous cells before, or they have a very strong family history of breast cancer. Those women definitely need to come and get screened every year also. We may start even earlier than 40, but 40 and every year, and October brings that to the forefront for women.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that this is, a relatively simple and quick way, typically probably covered by insurance as well.
Yes, exactly. The insurances in New York State really are very good about covering screening mammography, and if women don't have insurance, we participate with Cancer Services, which is a government-run organization that actually supports women in getting their screening mammograms if they don't have insurance or they have very large co-pays. So if a woman doesn't have insurance or thinks she cannot afford to have a mammogram, if she calls our office, we'll definitely help her get set up through Cancer Services so she can get this screening exam, which is life-saving.
That's wonderful. Now, can you talk to us just a little bit about whether there are more women getting mammographies than ever, or whether it's more of a challenge to get women to get their annual mammogram, and also what is happening in terms of our ability to stop the progression of disease. Are we getting better and better at this? It seems to me as though my general impression is that technology and medicine has taken a leap forward. Is that correct?
Right. The technology is getting better and better because now we're offering 3D mammography. So instead of the digital mammogram that was 2D, you only got 2 images per breast. now women get hundreds of images per breast, so we can identify very small abnormalities that may turn out to be very, very early breast cancers that are very treatable with minimal surgery and minimal follow-up treatment. So technology is getting fantastic now. We're doing screening ultrasound for women with dense breasts. We're informing women what kind of breast tissue they have, so they're well aware that even though the mammogram now, that 3D is very good, they may still need another tool like a screening ultrasound to look at their dense breast tissue. But unfortunately, the conflicting guidelines between some different organizations and government-run organizations and the United States Preventive Services Task Force, those have confused women. So, in fact, now women, I think, don't know if should they start at 40, should it be every year, should it be every other year, should they start at 50, and we even have women in their 70s that are perfectly in good health, and they're able to drive into the office, they're still working, they're taking care of their families and their grandchildren, and they question if they should be getting a mammogram still. And I think it's because so many organizations have really flooded the media and online and print and confused women about when should they start screening and how frequently. So we recommend what our American College of Radiology recommends, what our Society of Breast Imaging recommends, which is every year starting at age 40.
Okay.
And as long as you remain in good health, there should be no stop. 74 doesn't mean stop. 79 doesn't mean stop if you're in good health and you're able to come in and have your mammogram.
Okay. So even with no risk factors, start by age 40 every year. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Exactly. And then discuss with your primary care physician what your risk factors may be. If you have had prior biopsies that were precancerous, if your mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, if your sister was diagnosed with breast cancer, other relatives, and there's some other cancers that seem to sort of run along with breast cancer, like ovarian, like prostate in men, melanomas, that may be an indicator that you may be at a higher risk, and then someone really should assess you and assess your risk and see if you need even closer follow-up. And we do other testing for women that are higher risk along with a mammogram. We may offer an MRI. We may offer genetic testing. These are all things that, we have access to and we can offer women, and they will be able to then get that kind of life-saving care that they need and the correct screening for themselves.
Fantastic. Dr. Stamatia Destounis, radiologist with Elizabeth Wende Breast Care. We're so delighted that you were here today to talk to us a little bit about expanded services, high-tech services, and diagnostic services that you are bringing not just to the greater Rochester region, but very specifically to the town of Greece. And we're delighted to be able to remind women to get their annual mammograms just in time here for your October 15th open house and also for October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Dr. Stamatia Destounis, thank you again so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for asking me to join you, and we hope to see you all October 15th at our open house at 5:30 to 7.
Wonderful. Thank you again. All right, stick around. We're going to be right back with my next guest from Soho Bagels and Cafe. Don't go anywhere.
Healthy Pet Superstore.
Get all the advantages when you shop at Pet Saver.
Like our do-it-yourself pet wash for just $9.99 every day. We supply all the shampoo, towels, tubs, and water. And we clean up after you, too.
The Pet Saver-friendly staff helps you protect your pet from fleas and ticks with simple, safe, economical, and vet-recommended protection.
We are here 7 days a week in person to help you find only the best pet food, treats, toys, and more.
Can't get that online.
Remember, every time you shop at Pet Saver, you are helping to feed our local shelter pets.
Do your community and your pet a big favor.
Shop at Pet Saver!
The Love Your Pet More store.
Pet Saver, Healthy Pet Superstore.
In Greece, Monroe Ave in Brighton, Webster, and in Victor next to Party City, across from Eastview Mall.
RadiantHire Solutions is igniting growth in the Rochester and Buffalo areas for manufacturing, healthcare, legal firms, and industries small and large. They help companies hire and retain their top employees while increasing revenue so they can stay focused on their core business. Having difficulty finding and retaining top performers for your industry? Give them a call. They work with all types of positions, from manufacturing and executive level to technical and healthcare and everything in between. Their onboarding programs have helped all types of businesses retain their top employees. Or perhaps you need a partner to meet your sales needs without the ramp-up time and turnover of an in-house team. Schedule a free consultation to see how outsourcing sales can benefit your business. They also offer exclusive discounts and special consideration for Grease Chamber members. Where does your business need more support? Give us a call, and we'll be with you every step of the way. Visit RadiantHireSolutions.com or call 585-734-3905.
At Canandaigua National Bank and Trust, we understand that each business has its own unique financial needs. We also recognize that it takes a collection of banking services to meet them. That is why we assemble a team of financial experts to provide deposit, lending, and cash management solutions to meet them. Let us put our market knowledge and local decision-making to work for you. Canandaigua National Bank and Trust, investing in you, your business, and your community. Deposit Products member FDIC.
Tell advertisers you heard about them on WYSL. AM 1040 and 92.1 FM and 95.5 West.
And we're back. You're listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Pet Saver Healthy Pet Superstore. I'm Sarah Lentini, and I'm delighted to welcome my next guest, Michael Spano, who is the owner of Soho Bagels and Cafe. Welcome, Mike.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Oh, delighted to have you. So, Soho Bagels and Cafe, right? Stone Ridge Plaza, Greece?
Yes, right next to Healthy Pet Superstore.
Right next to.
That's where our drive-thru
Pet
is.
Saver Healthy Pet Superstore,
yep.
Right?
Yes.
And Stone Ridge Plaza, of course, is a pretty big plaza right there on Westridge Road in Greece. And you guys, you have purchased Soho Bagels and Cafe, was it a couple of years ago now?
A year and a half ago.
Yep. So a lot of people may be familiar with the company, but it's now, it hasn't, it's now being run and owned by you, right?
Correct. And my wife.
Yeah, and your wife Julie. Wonderful,
yep.
the lovely Julie.
Our daughter works there, and our dog's there a lot.
Oh, yeah? What's the dog's name? I want to know.
Baxter. He's in our new commercial, Baxter.
Oh, I got to see it.
We love Baxter.
Baxter.
He's a bad dog, but he's in our commercial. So
I love dogs.
We hope to progress into the television area with Baxter.
I think we should do a show with all of the dogs from all of the chamber organizations.
I know, right?
We got so many cool ones.
The dogs of Greece Chamber of Commerce.
Dogs, exactly. There's Rocky, right? Rocky from Bartolomeo Parado. Mm-hmm. I know somebody just met Rocky and was telling me what a great, he made a great impression on one of my staff. So
I don't know if Baxter would make a great impression, but he's cute. So
he's
you know what I mean? He's got the cute.
Cute always wins.
Right.
Yeah.
It always wins.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us about Michael Spano, Michael and Julie. How did you decide to buy Soho Bagels and Cafe? And I know you've been in the food service business since forever, right?
I have. I'm a very old man. I don't know. I got railroaded into it.
Oh, stop. You didn't make the decision at all. It just sort of happened?
It did. No, I guess, I guess that I've been asked a couple times over, a 5-year period, and eventually they, broke me down. Nice. And I said, this is, I guess, what I want to try. And, I wholeheartedly went into, my decision.
Wonderful.
I kind of jump into that like that. My background really had me in corporate dining, cafeterias.
Big scale, right?
Huge, yes. Lots of people.
Yeah, university scale, if my memory serves.
Not that big.
Oh, okay.
More like big companies, Fortune 500.
Wonderful. That's pretty
scale,
big.
3,000, 4,000 people.
And you know how to cook, right?
I do know how to cook.
I know you know how to bake because I've had your baked goods and they're amazing.
They're delicious, right?
They're delicious. That's right.
That's that kind of brought us to why we purchased it, I guess, because they have the best bagels and the best bagel recipe, and we wanted to keep that. We wanted to preserve that.
Oh yeah.
And keep selling that bagel, but in turn, we also wanted to do other things. So we wanted to, I guess, expand our offerings. Mm-hmm. And over the past, year and a half, it's been part of our business plan to just kind of throw stuff out there. We're kind of like a test kitchen that just I feel like trying this week. We're going to put it on the counter and see how it goes. Then we're going to take notes.
Perfect.
And see if we're going to put that into our new menu.
Well, and you have a great lineup of baked goods.
We do, and it's getting
people
bigger.
Wouldn't expect. By the way, the bagels are very, very good. I had one again recently, and there really, really is a good recipe.
They're delicious.
They're very delicious, but so are the other things. I'm quite the fan of the. I'm going to say this
chocolate
in that snooty,
croissant?
in the snooty French way, the chocolate croissant.
Yeah, they're good.
They're addictive. Actually, they're not just good. They're addictive. And then you've got. Don't you have like a big cinnamon bun that you make?
We do. Those are our killer buns. They're gigantic.
Buns. Awesome.
They're 9 ounces. They're huge.
Awesome.
And
is
we
that
make
what you
those
gained?
every
How come I
day.
gained 10 pounds on 9 ounces? How is that possible?
I don't know, but it's kind of like our donut. So, you know what I mean?
amazing.
We don't do donuts. I mean, we have kind of a partnership with a donut place, but our killer buns are our artistic kind of outlet.
Mm-hmm.
So
Your
we decorate,
artistic outlet.
Well, we decorate them up. You know,
Nice.
they're huge. They're beautiful. All different kinds of varieties and seasonal flavors.
Yeah.
If we can put it on a bun and it goes with cinnamon, we kind of
You'll
do that.
it.
Yeah,
Got
of course.
Yep.
So,
And then you don't just do these delicious dessert things. You also do sandwiches, right?
oh yeah, we do lots of stuff.
You do catering?
We do catering. We do tons of lunches. We do obviously breakfast is our busiest time, and the drive-through is massively busy at that time.
You have a drive-through? Do you know I didn't realize that?
Yeah.
I did not realize that.
Sue
and I've been
knows.
to the place.
Well, Sue Terry knows.
I'm not very observant. Well, that's even
some
nicer.
people
You
don't
have a
realize
drive-through.
that. Right.
That's
So here's
great.
the thing. It's been around 22, 25 years now.
Right.
And people still don't know where we are. And they don't know we have a drive-through. So that's probably something that we should put a big sign up.
We should probably say something
front.
about that in a public way, right?
I think we do in our commercials, but I don't know how many people listen to them.
Well, I'm hoping a few of these listeners, their ears perk up and they go,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, there's a drive-through. So
Yeah,
it's
no.
and just to say it again, since we're talking about it, it's
Yeah.
Soho Bagels and Cafe.
Correct.
And it's at Stone Ridge Plaza. I don't know the address of the plaza. What is it?
It's 1510 Westridge Road.
1510 West Ridge Road.
We just say across from Red Lobster and next to the Pet Saver.
Perfect, and next to the Pet Saver, and all kinds of wonderful foods that are going to really fill you up for both breakfast and lunch, and an expanded menu over what you might have known a couple of years ago.
Right, like I said, we're still in the test phase, and we're trying new stuff all the time. All local, all like regional stuff that we're purveying.
All fresh.
And getting always.
All fresh.
Yep. So
That's-
you may come in and you may like see something on the menu this week that won't be there next week, but it may be coming back. So I know it's been a really long test period, but we want to get it right. So, and we're, it's very hard still lining up purveyors in the area that can get us the stuff that we need. So the more that we keep trying stuff out and getting it on our menu, the better it's going to be for when we have our big grand opening.
Right, and I think it's great to have slightly different things at different times. I mean,
I agree.
that's what keeps keeping it fresh.
Keeping
I mean,
the
next
interest
time you're
up.
coming in, there's something new to try. I think
Right.
that's awesome.
Right.
And just to really make this point, you said everything's fresh, right?
Yeah.
You're like up early, right, making this stuff?
I am up 20 hours a day. So I sleep probably from 8 in the morning until maybe 10:30 or sometimes 6 to 10:30. So I'm around.
Right. And I know
Yeah.
you provided all kinds of wonderful baked goods for a couple of different events that we did recently. And
Yes,
I know
we did.
I made a point of making sure everybody knew, Mike was up at like 2 a.m. making this stuff.
I know, just for you.
Just for you. Well, it really was,
Yeah.
actually. Not just for you, but
But
in
yeah, that's what
addition.
we do. I mean, that's why we're in business. So.
That's wonderful. And how did you? So we've made the point. You know your way around a kitchen and an
I do.
oven.
I've been doing it a long time.
How did you get involved in preparing food, and where did you learn? Was it something you learned over time? Was it something you went to school for?
It was all that, yeah.
All of
So,
that.
like when I was a kid, I used to hang out with my grandmother tons.
Oh, nice.
That's how it started. I started baking with her.
Italian by any chance?
Yeah, very. And I would go to her house and we'd cook, and
she had specialties?
she has lots of specialties. I mean,
She still has specialties?
she does. She's
That's
95 years old
God
now.
bless her.
So,
How
or
lovely.
90. She might be 94, but I'll say she's 95. So
You're going to get it.
No, but she's. I mean, you know what I
Okay.
mean. She's still doing her thing.
That's wonderful.
But yeah, that's how it started. And then I used to watch Julia Childs all
Oh,
the time.
Julia Child.
After
my.
school, and I think Jacques Pepin was on, and there was a bunch of chefs on PBS. So I kind of started there, and then I'd watch those instead of cartoons. And I kind
So
of
you were an unusual child.
I guess I kind of was because I always wanted to cook, but
Very cool.
and I there was a time when I kind of wanted to be like an architect, and then that kind of went away because food kind of took over, and then at that time the whole thing of going to culinary school was just kind of getting, kind of becoming a big deal. So I hopped on that bandwagon and I did the culinary schools. I did a couple of those, and then I came
great.
here to Rochester to go to RIT. to get a sales and marketing degree from them in food service.
Perfect. What a great combination.
Right?
Yeah.
Well-rounded.
Very.
So I did that, met Julie, and wound up staying here.
Well, that's a good reason.
Because we were working at the DNC together at that time.
Very nice. Julie is your wife, just to make sure people know.
Yeah, she's in the store right now, probably sweeping or something. Or, talking to Baxter.
Now, does she also bake and cook?
She doesn't. She's terrible at it, and she'll tell you that.
So she's doing more of the business side of the house.
Right. She's our friendly smile. She's our, I don't know, what do you want to say, our business bookkeeper. She deals with all the commercial accounts and the billing for that.
Awesome.
She does all our marketing and commercial copy, press releases.
Oh, that's everything.
Right.
Yeah, it really is everything.
Stuff that I want to do with.
Well, you got your hands full with you literally your elbows up
she
into the dough.
She has more personality than I do, believe it or not. I'm kind of like a behind the scenes person. I mean, I'll wave at you and give you a hug and stuff, but I kind of would rather be in the back. Mm-hmm. That's just me.
Well, what a wonderful marriage. It sounds like a perfect marriage.
It is.
Where you complement each other. And just want to say we're really happy that you're members of the Greece Regional Chamber, and we're also really happy that you're in Greece and that you're providing such wonderful food. The kind of food, freshly baked goods, and that kind of food that is really getting increasingly difficult to get.
It absolutely
everything is much more processed and much more quickly baked, quickly put together. And I know that it's painful for you, but we appreciate that you're up at 2 a.m.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Baking for the Greece and Greater Rochester community.
We love that you keep saying Greece, too, because we really support the Greece community.
Wonderful. So thank you so much. Mike Spano, Soho Bagels and Cafe, Stone Ridge Plaza, West Ridge Road in the town of Greece. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate
on Business Voice. You're very welcome. That just about wraps it up here today on Business Voice. Before I leave you, I just want to make sure that you know that the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce has lots of exciting events coming online all the time for you here in the Greater Rochester region. Many of them are open to not just Greece Regional Chamber members, but also the general public. So please do check us out on the web, greecechamber.org. And before I leave, I just want to mention a couple things. One is that Thursday, November 7th, is our Small Business Awards Luncheon, and we're going into our 11th year of celebrating small businesses and micro-enterprise businesses. And the event is, as always, as from the beginning, is sponsored by Genesee Regional Bank. They're wonderful presenting sponsors. And then we also have an exciting new women's interest networking event that we're kicking off this fall, and that is going to be providing all kinds of networking opportunities, not just for women, but for all people who are interested in women's issues and women's interests. I also want to remind you that it's open enrollment time. And the open enrollment period for health insurance begins October 1 and runs generally up until January 1 for non-Medicare health insurance, for the health insurance that both individuals and families and employer groups have. And you can turn to the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce for help with medical, dental, and vision insurance. We and our health insurance partners stand ready to help you for both regular insurance as well as Medicare. And we also offer, through a partnership with Aflac, we offer supplemental insurance as well. So please do check us out on the web, greecechamber.org. I'm Sarah Lentini, and you've been listening to Business Voice, a program of the Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by Pet Saver Healthy Pet Superstore. We look forward to having you tune in next time.
You've been listening to Business Voice. The Greece Regional Chamber of Commerce serves businesses, nonprofits, and individuals throughout the region, focusing on promoting economic and community development and serving as the voice for business. The Chamber offers networking, education, advocacy, community events, and business services. It serves as an important platform for business leaders and citizens to come together in support of common goals.